I know I'll take it farther. And everyone that knows me knows that I am stronger. Leave it all behind, I don't need nothing to distract me. Nothing can get in my way, I know that I'll run free. I got the energy, it's all I need to finish. And everyone that knows me knows that I can do this. Yeah, I know that I can do this. I know I got this. Just watch me do this. I know I got this. I know I got this. Oh, just watch me do this. Hey, yeah. Oh, just watch me do this.
Camera rolling, 1, 2, 3. This is my home YouTube studio setup in which I create all my YouTube videos. It is a small apartment in the middle of the city and which you can see is packed with video equipment. And this so I can create the videos I make, and I always aim for the highest video quality possible. And since I've started doing YouTube, I've gotten one question a lot. What gear do you use to make your videos? And this is exactly what I'll be showing you in this video. From audio all the way, it is going too fast, so I gotta slow it down a bit. Hi, my name is Felix and this is How to Creative with everything you need to create. In this case, YouTube videos. In my opinion, gear does matter, but it entirely depends on what you want to create. I think you should upgrade your equipment as you gain skill. Before I started doing YouTube full-time, I graduated from an international media and entertainment management university, and while I was studying, I was also running my own digital production company for which I worked with some awesome clients. I invested most of what I earned by buying better equipment so I could increase my product quality and price. Why I'm telling you this is because it allowed me to start my YouTube journey with already some amazing equipment, and my videos on the other hand were still not great. So gear does matter if you know what your end goal is. Like I mentioned before, today I will go over all the important aspects of the gear that I use to make videos. I'll make sure to put some chapters on the video as well. If you want to get any of these products for yourself, I will make sure to drop a link to my kit below where you can find all the products that are covered in this video and more. And I will also make sure to keep this list up to date and put the exact links to the products in the description as well. Most of these are affiliate links, so thank you for clicking. Also, if a product has a dedicated, more in-depth video on the channel, I will make sure it pops up in the top right corner of the video so you can check it out if you want to learn more about it. Let's get started with the most important thing: the video equipment. So for starters, I use the Panasonic Lumix GH5, which is an absolute beast of a camera. I record in 4K 10 bits with 25 frames per second, and it is just incredible for the price. It is a fantastic camera for indie filmmakers, but I wouldn't highly recommend it if you want to vlog, since it has really bad autofocus. It does allow me to film in log, which provides more data to work with colors and exposure in post. So here is what it films and how I graded it. With that, I have had my eye on the Sony a7S III, so Sony, if you see this, hit me up. As if the camera isn't built strong enough, I've got SmallRig steel camera cage around it, which is mostly for convenience. A SmallRig top handle that also increases accessibility, a wooden SmallRig handle with a record button, which just makes it such a pleasure to film with, and as my lens, I only use the Sigma Art 18-35, as it is just so good. It is incredibly sharp, and did I tell you it has an aperture of 1.8? Though it does not have a micro four thirds mount, so to connect it to the camera, I use the Viltrox EF M2 Mark II, which is basically a better and cheaper speed booster. It also adds a few more stops of light, meaning the lens goes from a 1.8 to a 1.2 aperture. This incredible zoom lens with no change in aperture or shifting elements makes it a perfect lens for a gimbal too, as the lens does not shift the weight. The only downside of this setup was the steadiness of the elements, which is another thing SmallRig can fix. A special element that connects the Viltrox to the case makes it rock steady. The SmallRig case is also attached to the camera by several points, and the multiple connection points at the bottom make it even steadier to mount a tripod plate with more than one screw. Whatever camera you have, you need to get a SmallRig. It is just the best. This video is not sponsored by SmallRig though, but it is sponsored by Skillshare, which I'm really happy about, so let me tell you why. If you didn't know already, Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives that love to learn and improve their skills, and I've been using Skillshare myself for a few months, and I actually really enjoy it. Even Marcus Brownlee made a course about how he makes his YouTube videos, and if that isn't convincing you already, I also just launched my course on how to build a custom PC. Also, I'm thinking about making an incredibly in-depth course on how I make my videos, from doing research, writing the script, recording, and the editing. Would you be interested in this? Let me know in the comments what you would like me to cover. And with that being said, the first 1,000 of you to sign up with the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Not only will you get professional content for free, but you will also support this channel. Do it! Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Let's continue with my second camera. As a second camera, I use the iPhone 12 Pro. It is actually really compatible for video, and with the official SmallRig cage, it just adds even more possibilities. If you make videos, you just need a good tripod. I got 2 different parts from Manfrotto, a super smooth liquid head that just allows you to make those pan shots, and the legs are light and small, which makes it great for traveling. The head screws right on, and I would argue is just one of the most important pieces of equipment when it comes to video. The legs also allow you to add certain extra accessories, and the good part about a separate liquid head is that you can screw it off and mount something else on the legs, like the Moza SlidePod. This is a monopod and slider in one. We even connected a Blackmagic 6K full rig to it, and it just holds it. It's also nice with an iPhone, and talking about that, I do like to use the Joby GorillaPod 5K, which I've noticed is not super handy with a heavy rig, but it can hold it if you really need to. Last thing, I use a teleprompter that I screw on my lens, which makes it just a lot easier to get to the point and check my script. But on the other hand, I've noticed that it sometimes comes across a bit more static, right? Which I guess is just need to practice a bit more. Oh, it also comes with a little remote that I connected to my phone where the script is on, so I can quickly scroll back in the script if I mess something up, you know? Which actually happens a lot. Now lighting, which is in my opinion the most important piece of equipment. Why? Well, without light, even the best camera in the world won't shine. I use the Aputure 120D Mark II, and I have used different types of lighting before, like regular LED panels or a ring light, but I wouldn't want anything else than Aputure. There's an amazing company with amazing products, and they are really out there supporting creators, and that's what it's all about. The Aputure 120D Mark II also has a fantastic color production, which is often overlooked, and if you're serious about getting that beautiful picture, get an Aputure 120D Mark II instead of that more expensive camera. You will not regret it. You will need a good diffuser though as well, because this will better spread the light and get a softer look on skin tones. I personally like to use the Aputure lantern to evenly light an entire room, and I recently bought this Light Dome 2, which is a little big for my apartment, but gives me exactly the look I'm going for. And this is all quite heavy, so I use a C-stand to position the light, and in my opinion, every studio needs a C-stand. It is just so useful. Rig a camera overhead, boom a microphone, or position your light, and furthermore, all the lights in my apartment are Philips Hue, and therefore smart. And this allows me to easily change the RGB in the room, or change the color temperature of the white balance. I also use the Philips Hue Go, a little wireless practical light. And lastly, Falcon Eyes also sent me the portable RGB light, which I can't wait to try out some different color looks in a future video. Next, audio equipment. Audio is often overlooked and in my opinion even more important than video quality. Though people spend their entire budget on the best camera and record their audio with the in-camera mic. I started out like this as well. However, great audio equipment is not even a fraction of the price of professional video equipment, and as my on-camera mic I use the Deity VMic D3 Pro. This is a very versatile microphone that turns on with the camera and provides you with incredible audio quality, though I have this on my rig at all times and use it mostly as a backup audio track. This because plugging in any microphone into the camera will still have to go through the in-camera amp. As my main microphone, I use the Mirfak NP10, which is an incredible shotgun microphone. The most important thing is to get it as close to the mouth as possible, and still get it out of frame. So as you can see, it's just out of frame. I like to boom my microphone just above my forehead, pointed in front of my mouth. Why? Because the sound that gets picked up is cleaner than when I aim it straight at my mouth. I boom it using a K&M microphone stand and boom arm, and it can go up to like 3 meters high and reach also 3 meters horizontally, so I can make sure it does not come into the frame. The mic is connected to the Zoom H5 audio interface with an Amazon Basic XLR cable, which looks fantastic, and the microphone needs phantom power. And that's why the Zoom H5 is great. It records super high audio quality and even provides phantom power. The only downside, the AA batteries run out pretty quick. That's why I use a Baseus power bank to keep it running forever, basically. All of this is also conveniently connected with the SmallRig steel clamp and arm. I almost forgot, the shock mount that holds the mic and connects it to the boom arm is also from SmallRig. It also lets me mount it easily to the camera with the hot shoe mount. And if you're just starting out and looking for a great way to capture audio, check out the Rode SmartLav Plus. Got it here. As you can easily plug it into your phone and capture high quality audio. I also use it with an extension cable conversion, TRRS and to TRS, which can be connected directly to the camera or the Zoom H5 for an even higher sound quality. A great solution for under 80 bucks. For my voiceovers though, I use the Rode NT1 condenser mic connected to the Rode PSA-1 arm, and I freaking love it. This microphone is just so good. Also needs phantom power, so I have it connected to the Scarlett Focusrite 2i2 mounted under my desk, and I monitor my sound with the Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones. When I'm editing, I listen to the audio via my KRK Rocket 6 speakers. I don't know if you can see it, but it's behind me. Now the storage, which is often overlooked. To get the right quality recorded, I use the SanDisk Extreme Pro SD cards. These have high enough reading and writing speeds for the 4K files that I record. And to record the audio, I use a SanDisk Ultra card that is super cheap and still has a super fast reading speed. And when editing, I use two extremely fast NVMe M2 SSD drives, a Samsung 970 EVO Plus and a Samsung 980 for cache. I save all my files on a Samsung T5 external SSD, I actually have multiple of them, and eventually store them on 5TB WD HDDs. I like having my stuff portable, so that's why I'm using rubber sleeves on my T5 drives so they don't damage when I toss them into my backpack, and carry a SmallRig case to carry the SD cards with my wallet, like this one. Finally, my editing rig. I will make a separate video about my updated desk setup soon, but most importantly, I use a 160Hz LG UltraGear monitor with a perfect sRGB and P3 color spectrum and HDR for the timeline and color correction. And an AOC 4K monitor on the top, so I can monitor every single pixel I'm editing. If you're planning to make 4K video content, get a 4K monitor so you can really enjoy your final product and check your pixels natively. And something that I'm still missing in my kit though is a field monitor, but I cannot figure out which one I should get. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below. I think that includes the gear that I use for my 4K video workflow. It's kinda tough, but really worth it in my opinion. And if you're planning to create your own home YouTube studio, or maybe want to upgrade, think of the videos you'd like to create and upgrade your gear according to that. I know my gear is kinda overkill, but I want to provide you with the best quality possible. And my first camera was actually a GoPro Hero 4 that I got gifted for my birthday, and I saved up to buy my first DSLR a little later, the Canon 70D, which I used to earn money with my first gigs that allowed me eventually to upgrade step by step. Let's talk about gear though in the Discord if you want specific gear recommendations for your situation. We can't wait to see you there, and for thoughts, questions and/or suggestions, drop a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on your way out and see you in the next one. Stay creative.